Hola, bienvenidos a Nomadic Soul in España. Y'all, first of all, let me just shout out LaShawn for dropping me off at the airport. I did have to get there a little early because the name on my ticket did not quite line up with my passport. But I made it to the airport, DFW airport, and got everything situated. Got checked in for my flight. And y'all, guess what? My luggage was 2 pounds over the limit. So I had to take out 2 items, and it just so happened to be 2 pairs of tennis shoes. So I had to walk through the airport with these shoes. But I had a little time to spare, so I stopped by Papacitos and got some food. And of course, I had to give me a little drinky drink. The manager actually recommended that drink, and I got me some Baja fish tacos, chips and guac, salsa, and a nice little drink to get me ready for my flight. Since I did check in a little later, y'all, I was at the end of the line to get on the flight, but it's okay. We had assigned seats. Of course, because the flight was so long, they did give us 2 meals. So we had dinner, which was, I had a vegetarian pasta, salad, rolls, all those kinds of things. And then I had a breakfast the next morning. Now, the flight, like I said, was 9 hours. It didn't actually feel like it was 9 hours from Dallas to Madrid, but it was actually a pretty good and cozy flight. So when we got off the flight, they actually had 2 buses waiting for us to get us from the plane to the actual terminal at the airport.
We made it to Spain, and now it's going to be an interesting and fun experience. Got my luggage, thank God. We made it. The flight was actually not that bad. Didn't feel super long. Honestly, for it to have been a 9-hour flight, it did not feel very long. Make sure I ain't losing nothing. There was a couple of toddlers on the plane, which I was like, ooh, I feel bad for those parents because 9 hours on a flight can be crazy, and they had a time. Okay. But now just got through baggage and customs and stuff, and heading out to try to find my way to the train that will take me to my next destination.
I made my way through the airport. Now it's gonna take me 3 more different modes of transportation just to get to the city that I'm in, but I was in for the ride. So the first thing I had to do was get like a tram, kind of like bullet train, I guess, to get from the airport to the actual subway station that would then take me to my next destination. And this is the part of my trip where I started to regret the luggage that I brought, because I know my pack with me video, I had a medium-sized suitcase, but y'all, I did have to upgrade to a large suitcase because I had so much stuff. But it was getting heavy. The way the escalators were made, it was not the most convenient to do, but it's fine. We made it. So I got to the machines, got my ticket so that I could get on the bullet train to then get on the tram to then get on the bullet train. Now, when I got to the station, I got off the tram, I started looking for the bullet train. Now, the bullet train is actually going to be the longest part of my trip to get to where I was staying. So I kind of walked through a little bit, looking at the signs. I did get a little bit lost, so I did stop and ask someone for some help, but she was so kind. She spoke no English, which was great for me to practice my Spanish, and I did ask her in Spanish to help me. Sorry, I didn't get that on video. So I made it to the train, the tram, got off the tram. Got off the bullet train. So that I could try to find the subway to get me from the bullet train to my actual destination. Now, again, this is when I started questioning all of my life decisions, trying to get this luggage up an escalator. Y'all, I actually have a video of where my luggage fell, and the way that I had my camera set up, my camera fell, I was falling, we was all falling, and there was 2 very kind gentlemen who helped me. This is a part of where it fell. But the bullet train ride was about 3.5 hours from the tram all the way to where I was going, which I know some of y'all like 3.5 hours, that's a lot of travel, but I think taking the bullet train was actually a really good idea because it actually allowed me to get to see different parts of Spain that I might not actually be stopping in And it also gave me some ideas of where I could actually stop if I wanted to. So I took the train, I read a little bit. I didn't sleep because I was 100% committed to not going to sleep, right? But I did get to see some beautiful, like, just scenery, outdoorsy. It's very outdoorsy out here. It actually kind of reminds me of Arizona in the States, if that's something that you could compare it to. But then I really love, like, the way you can kind of oversee the city from a lot of different angles and things like that. Excuse my camera action, y'all. I'm still pretty new at this, and I didn't want to edit that out. I just left it in there because you know what? Every video shot ain't perfect. But I'm going to tell you right now, pictures do not do this trip justice. Like, I have tried to capture so much stuff, and y'all see it in some of my other upcoming videos, but there's just nothing that can quite capture the essence of Spain and just how it is. But I will do my best. So finally made it off to my final stop, off the bullet train. So get off the bullet train, and then I have to get a metro or a subway train to my official destination. Now, thankfully, my Airbnb host is literally one of the sweetest women I've ever met in my life. And so she was very kind. She literally gave me step-by-step directions of what to do once I actually exited the bullet train to then get to the subway station. And then once I got off the subway, right, it was like, and then do this, and this. So she was very helpful. But y'all, honestly, the people here have been very kind as well. Like, I really enjoyed getting to talk to people. And as I've told people that I am learning Spanish, they've actually been very kind to help me to continue to learn my Spanish. Sometimes they try to talk to me in English, and I'm like, no. Don't talk to me in English, talk to me in Spanish, because that's what I'm here for, right? I'm here to learn Spanish and to grow in my Spanish language. So anyways, I get to the subway station, get my subway station ticket so that I can get on the subway, and then I am on the last leg of my trip. Now, I'll be honest with y'all, by this time, the jet lag none of that had kicked in yet. So I am running on straight up, like, adrenaline and excitement, and like, I'm going. I'm like, yeah, I can do this for hours. Like, right? I'm like, I still got a lot of energy. Mind you, my body thinks that it's like 2 a.m. My mind is like, oh baby, it's sunny outside, there's so much to do, like, we're gonna make it. And I was determined to make it. So I kept going, got to the subway station, found my stop, figured out how to get my ticket, and then after getting my ticket, I got on the subway to take my last ride, and it was probably about 8 minutes, if that, from where I was to the stop that I had to take to get to the area where my Airbnb is. Now, y'all, this is gonna be some crazy camera work because I was walking and my camera was set up in my backpack, and so I was like, just record whatever you can record, because at this point, this is when I was like, okay, I done sat down for 8 minutes, I'm almost here, we're at the end. Jesus, be a fence and get me to where I'm going. So I tried to get a little bit of footage of the neighborhood. It's the first day. I was like, okay, just get some stuff, whatever. But also the roads here, or the sidewalks here, like, are pretty, like, not rocky, but they're not smooth all the way because of the decoration or whatever you want to say. So it was a little bumpy. So my camera action is crazy. But lo and behold, I made it to my Airbnb. I got all checked in. I met Maria, and Maria spoke to me all of my directions in Spanish, and I understood 90% of what she said. So I was like, baby, we got this, right? So anyways, I have arrived in Spain, and I'm excited to spend the next 2 months getting to learn some more Spanish. So like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all next week.